Hello, and welcome to a video on how to deal with long-range weapons in Splatoon 2. This video gives you the tools that you will need to fight weapons that are most likely going to outrange you. However, let me clarify that this is not the end-all be-all of range counters in Splatoon 2. There are plenty of other videos and people out there that can help you with this topic. Most of them have very different thoughts and play styles than I do. You'll get the most mileage out of this video if you use this information to supplement your own playstyle rather than taking this as a golden rule. That being said, let's start with fully understanding your own weapons kit. Weapons in this game have a main, sub, and special for a reason. They need to balance the weapon out to make sure it is actually usable. For to my Neosploosh users, which probably have the worst kit in the game. While bombs are an excellent painting tool, they are very effective for poking. Weapons that come with a lethal bomb or any bomb that can do some form of damage are very handy for dealing with these ranged weapons. For example, if you're going to throw a suction bomb at a spiraling, you're giving them a choice. They can either die, which would be a huge win for you, or they can reposition. In an actual game, they're probably not just going to die and take the bomb. More often than not, they'll reposition. But if they do reposition, that's going to be a huge win for you, because you're taking them away from the objective. Now, if your weapon doesn't have a lethal bomb, there's still much more you can do with your weapon. Whatever weapon you're playing, understand that there are strengths to your weapons and also weaknesses to these ranged ones. While a long-range weapon's threat bubble is fundamentally bigger than any close range, Slayers can make up for this for their high mobility. Unless you're not running any mobility, if so, what are you doing playing this weapon? This allows them to use their threat bubble in more positions on the map. Movement is going to be one of your biggest strengths. Make sure you are capitalizing on it whenever you can. How do we apply this when dealing with ranged weapons? We can close the gap, attack from behind, go for a flank, we can paint the map, or we can work on objective and ignore them altogether. You will be more valuable than a slower player if you can make it to more situations. When it comes to movement, that will only come with time and practice. Just understand the range of the opponent's weapon and play around it by using cover and understanding when you should and should not push. Being patient and taking calculated risks are essential for being an effective frontline. You're much more impactful alive than dead. Big surprise. Specials in Splatoon 2 are impactful. Maybe a little too much, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to make the point that if you and your teammates are always chaining your specials, you should be able to overtake the objective and push out your opponents. A charger will have plenty of options for dealing with only one inkjet, but a charger doesn't have as many options when dealing with inkjets, bombs, ink armor, baller, and whatever else you have stored up for your push. Saving your specials for overtaking objective is a skill you need to be able to manage. While saving your special for a moment to deal with a backline and get a quick kill might work on paper, in practice, the mileage gained out of chaining your specials is going to far surpass it. Now, I'm not saying to never do this. Remember, I said context is everything. If you feel like that doing that is the right play, then by all means whip out your Ultra Stamp and slam that Hydra all the way back to spawn. Also remember that Splatoon 2 is a team game. If you don't feel safe or would rather use your time to deal with something else on the map, it is reasonable to let your other teammates deal with the backline. More often than not, their weapons should be better built to deal with long-range weapons. Just don't throw the game when you see a team that completely counters you. Being able to adapt to situations is going to make you better at this game. As a Slayer, you need to be aware of what is happening around you. Making intelligent decisions fast is going to help you out while playing. One piece of information that can benefit you and your team is knowing the location of the opponent's backline. At the start of the game, you can use your map to track them down by looking at the ink lines that they are leaving. Once you have this information, you can choose to challenge them or push to a different location. However, if their opposing backline is pushing to a poor position, take them out immediately. Backlines only contribute so much because they are able to stay alive for a long period of time. When one is removed from the game, it opens up a new playing field. Not only will they be down one team member, but they don't have a consistent point to jump to if something were to go wrong. This allows you to play riskier and will give you a head start on the game. Knowing their location at any point during the game is very advantageous. Sharing their information with a point sensor or using callouts with your team is going to benefit you in the long run a lot. Staying quiet is only hurting you and your team. Sharing information and communicating are essential for making progress during your games. Alright, and that's all I really wanted to cover in this video when it comes to dealing with long-range weapons. What are your thoughts? Want to tell me how Neosploosh has the best kit in the game due to its high missile output? Or how soloing all your Ultra Stamps are a very practical use of your specials? Leave a like or a dislike and a comment below as well. You can check out my stream at twitch.tv/kest037 and consider subscribing if you enjoy this kind of content. Thank you for your time.